Yo, what's the deal? We back on another episode 4. Strictly Spade. Niggas know what it is. Strictly dope shit. Shout out my gang. Y'all follow us on Instagram or on YouTube. Sleazo Experience. Yes, sir. Check out the podcast. But anyway, welcome to Arkham Asylum. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna call my gang on here. Arkham Asylum, man. My favorite character is the Joker. But anyways, man, how y'all feeling today? How y'all feeling? It's a chill little day for me, you know what I'm saying? Took today off, so I decided I'm gonna record me a video. I got another topic for y'all today. I'm reacting to a video. It's a controversial take, you know what I'm saying? And it's about the GOAT. You feel me? My GOAT. Me personally. It's an opinion. You feel me? But shit, he got the resume, he got the stats, he got the eye test. Michael Jordan. Come on, man. Big 23. He's the GOAT. Like, he's the GOAT. My favorite player of all time is Allen Iverson. But MJ is the GOAT, bro. Like, undeniable. Feel me? That's probably my second favorite player. Like, I went back and watched games. I used to watch all his fucking footage, all that I could. Feel me? My pops used to show me all kind of shit. He was super fan MJ, so it's kind of biased. But MJ's my GOAT, and he's a lot of people's GOAT. So, yeah, anyway, we talking about his 1987-88 year, and the topic is, did he deserve the Defensive Player of the Year that year? This year, the nigga was incredible, bro. He came off a broken foot. First year, I mean, this was his fourth year, I believe. Yeah, he came in 84, 85. So this was his fourth year. Feel me? Won all the fucking biggest awards that you can win. Like, nigga was a fucking amazing after coming off a broken foot. I think this the year the threes came out. The Jordan 3, which is my favorite shoe of all time. We could just go name his accomplishments. He won MVP, scoring title, steals leader, all-star, first team all defense and offense. I think he won the all-star MVP. Shit, defensive player of the year. I mean, like, he led the league in minutes. He led the league in, like I said, steals, field goals made, of course. Free throws. I did some research, so yeah, this just is what I remember off the top of my head, but I do got the stats pulled up in the back sheet, but I'm not even looking at it. Yeah, and a lot of people I know, and generally, they say he didn't deserve it. They say that he wasn't a good defender, like, all kind of bullshit that don't make sense. How you wasn't a good defender, bro? Like, before Scottie Pippen got there, who the fuck was y'all think was guarding the main niggas and getting steals and leading? How you leading the league in steals, but you don't play defense? And people be saying it's just only passing lanes, this and that. Okay, I feel that. But shit, that's a lot of steals a game, bro. I looked up a stat. It said his per 100 possessions, nigga had 5 steals. Every 4 possessions he get a steal, type shit. Look how crazy that is. But anyway, so I found a video since I was talking about it with my cousin not too long ago. It said, did Michael Jordan deserve the Defensive Player of the Year award? And we about to react to that. So, feel me? Let's get on into it.
2 weeks ago, an article came out that kind of implied Michael Jordan did not deserve his Defensive Player of the Year award in 1987-88. By going through every play in 6 home games that year, Tom Hammerstroh and Reinus Lachis proved that his blocks and steals were wildly inflated by the statistician in Chicago Stadium.
Be saying.
But does
Niggas be saying anything. That's crazy. He talking about the statistician was inflating his. Come on, bro. Like, come on, bro.
This proved Jordan wasn't the best defender in the league that year. Is there a way to more accurately determine his value on the defensive end? Well, thankfully, I was able to get a hold of no less than 10 full games from that season to do what no one else has done
That's
yet.
quiet.
Use the video evidence to break down what he was doing on this end. After all, he was so dominant on offense that he won the MVP award as well, a feat no one else ever did, and a fact that helps cement his legacy.
Not only that, let me tell y'all his full stat line. I don't think I did. Stat line, 1987-88. 40 minutes per game, 35 points per game, almost 6 rebounds, almost 6 assists, so 5. 3.2 steals, 1.6 blocks, so 3 steals, 2 blocks. 53% from the field, 13% from the 3, 84 from the free throw line. Almost 3,000 points, 259 steals, 131 blocks. Fucking nigga is a pit.
Legacy as the greatest of all time. Now, stats should only play a small part in rating a player's defense, and in front of a national TV audience on CBS, Jordan wanted to put the whole league on notice that he was going to wreak havoc on both ends of the court all season long.
That's what they playing, the Rockets.
Dominating the low block by this time, MJ knew he had to help his teammates, and here's the primary
Look,
way.
that was one of the finals. Hakeem Olajuwon, he was one of the finalists for Defensive Player of the Year this year. It was him and Mark Eaton. Hakeem, come on, everybody know about the dream. He one of the best big men all time for sure. NBA leader in blocks. Still, I think he's gonna get passed by Wemby eventually, but only time will tell, you know. But yeah, Hakeem Olajuwon. They playing the Rockets. Just to see, because motherfuckers be saying he don't even guard the main niggas. Who he was guarding them niggas before fucking Scotty got there. You feel me? The Rockets had Rodney McCray, Robert Reed, I don't know neither one of them, Dirk Minifield, I don't know him, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Ralph Sampson. That's who started. The Bulls, this is pre-Pippen. You feel me? This is pre-Pippen. So he's guarding the best people. It's Charles Oakley, MJ, Brad Sellers, John Paxson, and Earl Cureton. But anyway, back to the video.
He got his block shots on post players from behind. If he was on the strong side, he'd take advantage of post players who didn't normally kick it back out by turning his back to his own man and using his leaping ability to his advantage. Guys like Hakeem never can.
See that? See that? Why is it bad to come help on defense? He's not supposed to be guarding Hakeem Olajuwon. Like, he's roaming on defense. So he got time to sag off his man, go help. You feel me? Once you see Hakeem make a move, he already guarded by the center. So once he about to get into his move, since he one-on-one in the post, he can come baseline and help. Or, you feel me? Come from the wing and come help. Once he make his move, or spin back, come get that block over the top. Or come get that strip. Come contest while, feel me? Cause who the fuck? Oakley and them, that nigga wasn't no lockdown defender, but he was one of them rough you up type of niggas. Charles Oakley, you feel me? Now he a bump and all that shit, hit niggas and all that type of shit. But anyway,
see the guard being able to block their fadeaways from behind, and he learned the hard way that he had better be aware of where Jordan was before shooting. Purvis Short smartly used the cross screen to get open for his patented over-the-head release jumper, but MJ could elevate high enough to use a swatting motion to knock the ball away and erase the shot. World B. Free thought he had him when Jordan went for the reach-around steal, but he was so quick he could recover into the air and swat jump shots away as well. Michael was extremely aggressive from the weak side and made people think twice about shooting in the lane when he was...
Look, this against Doc Rivers and Dominique and all them niggas, the Hawks. He's roaming. He's doing everything, bro. He's playing D, he's getting blocked. Like,
maybe 6'5" in shoes, and the fact that he was a de facto rim protector at his position was a gigantic advantage that propelled the Bulls to the third best defensive rating that year. If you don't remember Alex English, he was one of the greatest scorers of his era, and despite being at the end of his career, was still pouring in 25 a game. His high set point generally meant no one could block his jumper, but MJ could. Any chance he got...
there. He athletic. He's locking up. He's sitting. And then once he put the shot up, he got that long ass jumper, but gay. He got time to recover, get the block. Like, that's 3 straight blocks right there. On World Be Free. Shit. Niggas that's the competition they playing. You can't, come on now. He can't help that.
Again gets him something unheard of at the time, a block of English's jumper. Back in this era, kickouts from the post weren't as much of a thing, as big men roamed the paint in great numbers and generally needed to only be concerned with where their man was when getting a shot off. But MJ would terrorize them by flying in at all angles. Forwards and guards were also not immune when they got in the vicinity of the basket, as Michael had the freedom to roam the entire floor looking to block as many shots as possible, leading to a career high in block shots per game. But even with his inflated home stats, it's clear he brought the energy on this end. That said, his attempts to block so many shots would often result in a foul as he got caught up in the air and out of position, causing enough contact with the body or the arm that the ref had to blow the whistle.
Right.
And these weren't the kind of low-harm fouls where the other team checks it back up. No, these were the damaging ones that put Bulls opponents on the free throw line. For full disclosure, I was at all of these games in Chicago Stadium, so I got to see Michael's defense in person. And there was nothing like going to a game there, as it was the loudest stadium in North America. And if you want to have a similar experience with your favorite players, then you must download SeatGeek. It's the best app for finding tickets to any concert, sporting event, or the theater, and I use it all the time for years and years. In fact, I just went to Las Vegas. The problem with steals, however, is that sometimes it's not always clear who should get the credit, the guy deflecting the ball or the guy who comes up with it. During this season, he made life miserable for ball handlers he wasn't guarding, reaching in from one pass away every chance he got. If he wasn't getting so many steals, a coach would probably get pretty frustrated since it pulled him out of position on his own man, and if the gamble didn't pay off, it led to open shots for the other team. Not only that, these could also lead...
Right. See, that's what I'm saying. That's the risk you taking when you roaming on defense. You gonna gamble for the steal. If you get the steal, you the hero. But if you don't get it, shit, you already know it's a 3-pointer coming or some kind of highlight play, a alley-oop, somebody wide open. So it's gonna be some, feel me? Not all the time they're gonna miss the shot. A lot of time they're gonna make it because they're wide open. It's professional basketball. But feel me? Taking those risks on defense, roaming ain't always a good thing. So let's just say he's an elite roamer on defense. And he can play on ball. He's not fucking Kawhi Leonard on ball, but he's fucking he can guard on ball, bro. It ain't like anybody just crossing up MJ. Like, of course AI did it. A couple people did it and got by him, but like, come on, it's tough, definitely. Like, you ain't about to say he not giving that energy or bringing that shit on defense. Like, that's just cat. Like, I don't know what people talk about and what y'all watching, but y'all need to go back and watch some actual footage, like not clips. You know what I'm saying? Because I went back and watched all his playoff series at one point in time, and my nigga is goated, bro. He's sitting on shit. He roaming on defense. He can guard the best player, but he don't all the time because the nigga doing so much other shit on offense And you know what I'm saying? Like, he playing both ways.
To a lot of reach-in fouls with such overt swiping, which would explain why he committed the second highest fouls per game in his career and had as many as 5 fouls in over 20% of his games played. On ball, he was a panther who could literally eliminate drives with his cat-like quickness, forcing his man to end the dribble and pass out lest he commit a bad turnover at the hands of MJ. And he tended to be at his best.
Hold on, wait, look. Let me go back. Who he guarding right here?
On ball, he was a panther who could literally eliminate drives with his cat-like quickness,
this right here,
forcing his man to end the dribble and pass out lest he commit a bad turnover at the hands of MJ. And he tended to be at his best in this area when the game was on the line and the Bulls absolutely needed to stop. I still haven't seen anyone move with the kind of grace and explosion Michael did, and it was remarkable to see him disrupt so many other pros with his overwhelming athletic ability. While people point to the allowance of hand checking and more physicality back then to prove that it was easier to play defense, I'd also argue it was easier for 2 more reasons. One was that guards rarely jacked up quick threes off the first pass in the offense. I'm sure Michael understood this and didn't have to pressure his man that much, knowing that he'd almost be required to make one more pass before the offense could begin to attack the basket. I saw plenty of times where he would give a huge cushion and not need to be in his stance on catches like this. The other reason it might have been easier to defend the perimeter back then was because almost every wing catch had a big man posting up on the strong side block, and probably a weak side big man trying to duck in. With such poor spacing all the time, there simply wasn't a ton of room for a wing player to drive to the basket. Again, I believe Michael understood this as well and didn't have to be as worried all the time about getting beat to the hoop. And this allowed him to anticipate the midi pull-up so many players had to master back then, knowing there were probably 4 players wandering in the lane at any one time. If there was one flaw I detected in his defensive game, it was defending against pin downs. This was the most shocking thing I analyzed, considering the pin down was the most common way for shooting guards to get open back then. Michael was consistently late recognizing them, and he'd take poor angles that led him to run smack dab into them and yielding open jumpers. He'd also cheat by shooting the gap, looking for steals, which led to flare cuts and more openings due to bad defensive positioning on his part. His teammates understood this as well, as BJ Armstrong related here.
Michael had problems with a certain player. Anyone who could catch and shoot.
And run screens.
And run around screens.
He hated chasing screens.
Because he was a ball watcher. You know, he
gambled all the time.
Because he's trying to get in the passing lane.
And this led...
Okay, see, I can understand that. He watching the ball to see when he gonna get his chance to leave his man to go get the steal. I can understand that completely, because I'm a nigga that do shit like that. But I can sit on defense too, so I know exactly what they saying. The fact that he had trouble with guarding a nigga like Steph Curry, or like Rip Hamilton, or like Kobe, or anybody, Kyle Korver will probably feed him. You feel me? Because you coming, Reggie Miller, you coming off screens, you running, you playing off ball. Nigga, that movement type of shit. So you can't sit and watch the ball and try and anticipate a steal unless you the next pass over, or you or like, what else? Like you close in position to steal the ball from whoever passing it. So if you watching a ball and you watching to when you can get your chance to steal it, jump a pass or come, feel me, or anything like that. If you watching that and your man run a pin down screen, or he flare out, or he cut baseline shit, that's easy 2 buckets. I mean, easy 2 points. That's an easy bucket. That's just bad. That's bad defense in a way, but it's like he make up for it in other ways type shit. So back to it.
Need to go through 2 specific games, one against Randy Whitman and the Hawks, and the other versus Dale Ellis and the Supersonics, since these 2 guys were great at off-ball movement. Here he sneaks to the inside of the screen, delaying him enough to give a good shooter a wide open shot from 17 feet. You can see MJ ball watching on the weak side while Whitman finds the open space. Again, he tries to shoot the gap inside the screen, which just allows the screener to slow him down. They again catch him a step slow, reacting to the quick pin down, and when he goes to the inside, it allows Whitman plenty of space to get a quick release 16-footer off and in the hoop like it's a layup. This one was crazy. He shoots the...
That's not bad defense. He's just late. He's watching the ball. So by the time the nigga that already came around the screen, he like, damn, it's already over with because I was watching the ball. See what they doing. He's kind of reading the play, but he not watching his man. So by the time the nigga comes at the screen, the dude already around it. He can only go under and try and shoot it, and by the time it's already too late.
Gap over the top to deny the pass, which triggers the flare cut to the corner by Whitman. Jordan does a merry-go-round on the screen, which is a strange choice, and he's lucky Whitman doesn't nail the most open jumper he's gotten so far. This happened in another game they played as well, where MJ doesn't know where the ball is here, and then gets stuck under two screens as Whitman is getting another wide-open jumper that he almost never missed from that range. The Seattle game was even more troubling as Dale Ellis was the 7th leading scorer in the league that year and had a size advantage on Jordan. On the out-of-bounds play, Michael is bent over and doesn't know where the ball is, unable to get a hand up as Ellis casually hits the 17-footer along the baseline. Here's another play where he doesn't know where the ball is and walks underneath the obvious screen, allowing Ellis to pop out to the open spot and get a wide-open shot that shockingly misses. I was surprised to see MJ chase around the pin down since he normally shot the gap. So Ellis expertly curls back into the lane. Michael has no urgency to get back in position, and it's an easy layup.
That's good offense.
On this baseline out of bounds, Tom Chambers clearly comes across to set the screen. Jordan is late reacting, but uses his quickness to get around the second screen while simultaneously elevating for his patented block from behind that triggered his offense, as Xavier McDaniel has to foul him to stop him from dunking. Here's another simple pin down. He opts to go inside the screen and simply cannot get there to even get a hand up on the quick release midi with the shooter's roll. Make no mistake, had Dale Ellis been playing today, he'd have one of the highest salaries around because he could score from deep and move without the ball and finish inside as well, as Michael completely loses him on the baseline cut. If other teams tried to post Michael up, he was an expert at disrupting the post-entry pass by stepping around and knocking the ball away, leaving his man desperately trying to hold him off to no avail. The problem is, this type of gamble didn't always pay off. I think it ended up being pretty even in terms of advantage-disadvantage overall, but on this Ellis post-up, Michael's gamble does not pay off and it leads to the easy jump hook over Dave Corzine. And finally, they run him through a double staggered pin down, and his figure 8 route ends up being suboptimal, as Ellis gets another midi without so much as a hand up. But it wasn't all bad defense because Jordan
Dude had 34 on MJ this game. They only talk about 2 specific games right now, just so y'all know. This ain't just like the whole season. So, yeah, nigga gonna get cooked every now and then, you feel me? Nigga gonna get cooked every now and then. So, but yeah. It's a bunch of lazy defense. Who knows? They might have been coming off a back-to-back. He might have just scored 50 the game before off a back-to-back, and it's just Seattle. They taking them light, probably. You never know. I have to go watch this footage for this game and see when they played before this and all that type of shit. But he's feeding him, but it's a bunch of lazy defense. Bunch of pin downs, bunch of off-ball movement.
Expended so much energy and focus on this end. He stays with Ellis on the screen, then remains glued to him on the cut under the basket, and properly chases around the screen. He's active and engaged to take away the slice cut as best as he can, and because this pass would have been a skip, he can shoot the gap with time to recover, thwarting the pass altogether. Watch his cat-like quickness to go on the high side of this pin down into a denial of the pass, forcing the offense to...
See, if he would have passed that, that's a steal. That's a steal right there, how you shot that gap.
Go deeper into their options. This is one of his best defensive plays of the season as he deflects the ball loose, then knocks it away from Chambers again to steal it. While he cannot hit the pull-up jumper on the fast break, he hustles back down court to stop the Sonics' attack, closing out to Ellis to take away the opening for the little pull-up jumper, forcing a spin move, and then contesting this into a turnover as Ellis landed before releasing the pass.
See? Good D.
The Bulls would play a little 1-3-1 zone in the half court, which is perfect to allow Michael to roam and pressure on the whole side of the floor as he knocks the ball from Chambers into a steal. When they go down low to take advantage of the size mismatch, Michael simply waits for Ellis to turn into the shot and strips the ball.
See, and that's all he had to do. You gotta they had to make an adjustment. Like he said, they went to the 1-3-1 and put him at the top so he can roam around, and the rest of the defense just gonna shift so he don't gotta chase him off pin downs and all that shit. He could just roam. So that probably made them switch their offense. I don't know who won this game or nothing. I have to go look the shit up. But it looked like it might have turned around, or they might have came back or something, because you can't really run like screen pin downs and shit, flares on a zone. Y'all gotta pass the ball around type shit.
Clean out of bounds. Michael ramped up his intensity as the game wore on, closing out hard to stop the shot from being taken, then eliminating the drive altogether before pouncing on Ellis with a fantastic contest that left him no room to get it off. Here, he fights off the back screen, then chases under the screen to eliminate the flare cut. He's there in a flash to dissuade the pass, gets a body on Ellis to slow.
See, now you can tell just by off how he moving. He's showing more effort to get around the screens and cut through. That might have, the scoring that dude was doing might have been early in the game, and this is like, it's probably closer, or they trying to pull the win out. It's not showing the box score and shit. So I don't know. I'm just guessing at this point, but it looked like it's later on in the game. It's getting more intense, and he taking his defense up to another level. And as you can see, it's paying off. He getting steals, he contesting, he getting around the screens. All that. He poking the ball away, making turnovers, 3 straight defensive possessions that went good. Like, yeah.
The cut, and finally is the last line of defense to contest this shot into a miss. Wow. He did get caught trying to shoot the gap over the top of the screen again, but look how fast he can close the distance into a decent contest that causes the shot to be way off. And to end the game in overtime, he has to pick up McDaniel up top, who had hit the 3 to tie it in regulation.
Okay, they saying the game tied. Dude just tied it up with a 3. And this is, I think this is the final possession.
Daniel up top, who had hit the 3 to tie it in regulation. This time he gets right in his face and deflects the ball twice, enabling him to put an exclamation point on a big home win over a tough Western Conference
Game
team.
time.
Despite some issues with MJ's constant gambling on defense and difficulty navigating pin downs, it's vital to understand how impactful he was on the defensive end. He was everywhere, with permission from the coaching staff to leave his man when he felt an opening to get a deflection or a steal. And this meant the opposing team had an added level of anxiety whenever he was in the vicinity. If you think about defense in today's game, who displays this much activity on so many defensive possessions? This could never be a bad thing when it inspired his teammates to exert similar energy, as a rookie Scottie Pippen was busy taking notes, which put him on a path to be arguably the best perimeter defender of all time, thanks to the modeling by a player at the height of his powers in the midst of one of the most dominating seasons the NBA had ever seen. Someone who wholeheartedly deserved the MVP as well as the Defensive Player of the Year award.
In conclusion, I agree. He deserved that shit. Like, the nigga was doing everything, bro. Like, he's playing offense and he's playing defense. Like, he's sitting. He's like they said, he's the reason that their defense is amped up like that. Sure, they didn't go to the chip. I'm sure they made the playoffs, but they got put out, second round, if not Eastern Conference Finals, to the Pistons. You can't. And like I said, this is before Scottie Pippen really made that leap. Feel me? Training with MJ every day. Like, what do you expect to not get better? Not to say Scottie wasn't a good talent by himself. But Yeah, you playing fucking MJ every day. You gonna get better. You should get better at least. And like you said, he was on the bench, so MJ is doing mostly everything. Like, stop it, man. Goat talk. But yeah, that's it for the episode. Real controversial take. Feel me? I'm rocking with it. Nigga deserved it, if you ask me. The other finalists that year, it was Hakeem and Mark Eaton. Let me just give y'all their stats right quick, man. Let me just get into that one bag. Defensive win shares. Hakeem won 6.3. He's number one. Michael Jordan was in third, 6.1. Mark Eaton was at 5.2 and fourth. I'm only reading they shit, not everybody else. Defensive rating. Hakeem, 98. Mark Eaton, 100.7. And MJ was in sixth at 101.5. Blocks per 100 possession. Mark Eaton was in second with 5.3. Hakeem was in eighth with 3.6. And Michael Jordan wasn't in the top 20 in blocks per 100 possessions. Did I do blocks per game? This isn't just blocks. Number one was Mark Eaton with 304. He also led in blocks per game with 3.7. Hakeem was in fourth in blocks with 214 and fourth in blocks per game with 2.7. Michael Jordan was in 14th with 131 blocks and 16th in blocks per game with 1.6 as a guard, though. Everybody else on the list of the top 20 is a center. So, when you add in the steals, he had 259 steals first, of course, with 3.2 steals per game. Hakeem had 162 steals he was in 11th place. And 9th place, 2.1 steals per game. Eaton didn't make this list. So if you asking me, MJ is he's in all those categories in the top 20. How is he not the best defensive player that year? The world may never know. But yeah, man. Nigga won everything, bro. Shout out to GOAT. And we fucking out of here to the next episode, man. I'm gonna catch y'all again. One love. 4F. Peace.